so I'll wait for it to pop up on YouTube.
There we go.
Yeah, don't forget to share the link.
Oh yeah, right, here we go.
And share the correct link this time.
Yeah, share the correct one. Let's have a look.
Sprite, get on push to talk, my man.
Nah.
Don't hear you coughing into the mic.
That's the stuff.
Right, there we go.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Right, we go. So, hello everybody. Welcome back to another dev stream. We're basically just going to run through what we've done over the last week. And I've got some stuff to show off from chapter 1. Want to show off some new view model animations for you as well. And the new dream sequence. We've also got some new lines as well from Trivy, which is going to be cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So if we just, I guess we'll introduce ourselves again. So obviously I am Breadman. You know about me. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'll start. Hey guys, I'm CW3D. I am the sound designer for Entropy Arctica.
Sprite's being quiet. So I'm Trivy. I'm a voice actor, and I'm voicing Bad Cop in Entropy Arctica.
I forgot I had a push to talk on.
There you go.
I am Sprite Cranberry, and I animate.
Yeah, so Sprite's doing all of our view model animations and stuff, and maybe some extra bits here and there. He's doing a great job. It's brilliant. So basically, over the last week, I've just been starting on chapter 2 and finishing off the dream sequence, which sort of bridges the gap between chapter 1 and chapter 2, which I can show off in a minute. I've got some screenshots, which you're probably seeing in the stream at the minute, of the dream sequence and the end of chapter, whatever it is, chapter 1. Yeah, I think I could just dive in with some gameplay. I think that would be a thing
Go
to
for
do.
it. Yeah.
Let's
Show
just do
the
that.
people what they want to see.
They want to see it, I think. So let me just change that on the stream. We'll just switch that. Where's he gone? Ugh. Bear with me for a minute whilst I play with OBS. Did have this set up, but it seems to be. There we go. Good to go. Right, so let's just jump in. If I start from, I'll start from the second level because I don't want to spoil anything massive. Turn it down a bit so we don't get destroyed. So I've got the nice new view model animations, thanks to Sprite. They're working really well. I love them. This is the pistol, two-handed. It's pretty cool. Got the machine gun. Obviously, eye rifle. I love the eye rifle, and especially the new sounds that CW3D's done as well.
Oh yeah, the reload animations and sound really good.
It's really nice. I'm just going to have to turn it down because I can't hear you guys. There we go, that's better.
I am really happy with that reload sound.
It's really nice. I love it.
It was a combination of, retail, AR, reload sound, and a combination of a old sound that was in the Half-Life 2 files that wasn't used.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realise you used an old sound to finish it. I do really love it, it's great. It's amazing how much like just changing view models actually affects the gameplay, like the feel of it. It just feels totally different.
I do like the wider FOV on the weapons. You can actually see like the hands, like, and you can see that you're a elite metric combine elite. So that looks really cool. And just to answer somebody on the stream, we'll be doing a Q&A session at the end of the stream.
Yep, we'll do Q&A at the end. You can ask us anything you like. Anything you like.
Anything.
Let's go and grab this dude. So this is obviously Nova Prospect. This is where Freeman sort of tore through and killed everyone. I've got this nice little thing in here. It's a soldier which is rebarred to the wall. Just to remind everybody of Freeman. Is this guy going to follow me? Come on.
That's a good point, actually, that I completely forgot to write a note of. It's kind of hard to tell whether when you order a soldier, whether you're telling them to stop or follow you, because they always say, like, copy that, affirmative, and there's, like, no difference between telling them to stop or telling them to follow you.
It's a really good point. And the other thing, to add to that, there's something else I want to change. I can definitely change that. They don't animate. You know, they sort of just stand there.
Yeah.
Whereas, and they do have some... Oh, Jesus, what's he shooting at?
Hand signals and stuff.
There are some sort of hand signals, so I reckon I'm going to look at the code and sort of get them sorted so we can have them sort of signal that they're going to move with us.
Yeah, because I noticed that in the first level when you come up and see one for the first time, it gives you a little wave. I was like, yes.
Yeah. And that's the kind of thing, you know, it just animates them a bit. They're kind of, at the minute, see if I start talking to him. He sort of just stands there. He looks too casual as well at the minute. It's like, come on, man. Right.
Yeah, it's difficult. If you spam E on them, you're going to have no idea whether he's going to follow you or not.
Exactly. Where's he disappeared to? It's funny, in Half-Life 1, if you had a Barney or whatever following you, and they wouldn't do anything, if you shot your weapon, they would, like, pick up the game and start following you. I've noticed that the soldiers and stuff do the same thing. Come on. I think he's stuck. Look at that, I'll have to NPC clip that. Finding bugs live. Fantastic.
How do you even get into that in the first place?
I don't know, come on. Alright, he's coming out. Here we go. Right. We're back!
I think it would be good. I think it would be good to have a HUD element to show, like, you have a squad following you or soldiers following you.
I mean, eventually... So what I've done with the soldiers is I've literally copied the Rebel follow code into their code, but I want to bring across all of the squad capabilities that the
like being able to tell them where to run to and stuff like that.
Yeah, stuff like that would be really good. I just want to show off something down here. I did a nice little homage to Freeman. Where are we? Look, you got Freeman's footprints.
I did find that.
It's pretty cool. Just thought it's kind of nice. And you got the brick obviously shoved in the fan. Good old Freeman. Right. Let's keep going.
Ah, yeah, nice.
If you go through that way, do the soldiers like follow you around to like the other end of the vent? Or?
They do. The problem is at the minute is, and he's just fucked off. Come on. They do follow you around. The problem is at the minute they'll just get killed by antlines because remember that conversation we were having about their hearing. I think I found the code that I need to change that.
Yeah, and just the case of them not dying to one hit from an antline.
That's also in the code, isn't it? That's an actual baked thing to
I believe so, yeah.
With Nova Prospect. So we need to sort that out as well. Did he die or did he run off?
Yeah, I've noticed that when you throw the grenade, sometimes they like run like so far away. Like I had one couple of guys that literally run to like the beginning of the map, and then I had to beckon them back. I had to run all the way.
I think he's run off. You know, is he in a hole? Oh, he's down the hole. Okay. R.I.P. Ripperoni. Oh man. Right. Guess I'm on my own then.
That was something I noticed too, was when you don't have a squad with you, Bad Cop doesn't spill that line like, oh, what's the deal with this place?
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. So here it's more of a comment made to squad mates. So basically, the lack of their he's not talking to anyone. There's nobody to talk to. I mean,
Unless he's
I
taunting
could still
enemies.
get him to. I guess I could get him to spill it out. I mean, it could be taken as a self comment.
Yeah, but then you'd have to
could
make
do-
sure it doesn't say the rest of the line where he talks about, you
yeah,
guys
the
don't
lack of
talk very much, do
faculties.
you? Yeah,
That's it,
otherwise
yeah.
it wouldn't make sense.
So just like an alternate line, like if he's alone.
Yeah, just give him
Yeah.
something a bit different. Maybe that's a good idea, Trevor. We could. That's a good idea. We could give him a different line, couldn't we?
And then that encourages replaying it as well. So
Just to
say
see
you
the
ran
different-
through one area without a squad, and then the next time you play through and you do actually keep them alive, you'll have a little one-sided conversation.
That's a bloody good idea. We can change the dialogue depending on whether we've got a squad or not. That gives it some more flavour. Spicy flavour. It's a good idea. I like that. I think we'll run with that.
Is that hunter chopper mine like just a placeholder mine at the moment?
Yes, it's just at the minute it's just a helicopter mine thingy that I've embedded in the wall. But I want to have the original plan for this was to implement the slam and actually have the player do the actual blowing up of the pillar using slams.
Cool. Then you'd need to give him an ammo box for that, because otherwise if he fucks it up, then he's trapped.
Yeah. That'll all come later on though. This whole sequence is meant to be a little bit more sort of strategic. You're meant to place the turrets where you think it's going to be best to hold them off and place some slams, place your squad members before sort of calling for backup. Or calling for evac.
And as CW mentioned, having maybe one of the walls get knocked down or some shit to make it harder.
To pressure,
suddenly.
yeah. That's one thing I have noticed as well is if you've got a squad with you, this bit is just a million times easier than this. Bear in mind we've got turrets, so you end up not doing anything at all if you've got the whole squad from the rest of the chapter.
Yeah, I was just standing behind the ammo boxes.
Yeah,
and I
you can
couldn't
just
touch
let them do the work. It's no fun. We
Rip
want
that
to have a
shotgun
little
on
bit of a challenge.
And then you've got those soldiers up on the balcony.
Yeah, you got the two
area.
guys up here.
Ooh, did you fix the little skybox leaky imaging?
No, I haven't revisited chapter 1 yet. Need to do that. You guys can talk about your playtest experience in a minute. That's a good point. Because you've all playtested it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Alright.
Aye. I'll turn it up for you guys now, for the viewers. You can see the dream sequence. This bit's a little bit cack-handed at the minute because it's all, obviously it's all fresh.
Ooh, I'm going to turn on the audio for this then. I want to see this.
Here we go.
Where'd those two soldiers go?
They got shreked, I think. At the end, it spawns in a load of antlines. So this is the dream sequence. I can't remember if you guys have played this yet. Did I get this? Did I include this in the build?
No.
No.
Oh, I didn't include it. It's pretty grisly.
Ooh, that train sequence. kind of reminds me of the end of the E3 presentation of Half-Life 2.
Yeah, the Psyche thingy. It's kind of what I was going for. So that's pretty much the dream sequence. It doesn't transition after this. It sort of just lingers around here because I haven't done any of the map sewing yet. Obviously, because Chapter 2 is literally in its most infant stage, which I could show you if you want to see it. I could show you the very first part of Chapter 2 if you want to see it.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be nice. Yeah.
This is literally like fresh out of the oven, and it's literally one room. So here we go.
I'm just hanging out with the floating skulls. cracking a cold one with the boys. We've got quite a few more viewers than last time.
Oh, we have, haven't we?
Yeah, some people shared it around other Discord servers. So that's nice.
Let me just chuck on Impulse here, because obviously we're not even kitted out yet. Right, so the idea is we'd end up here with the same loadout that we'd have from the previous lot. We've just crashed, the rebels have shot us down. It's incredibly dev at the minute. You'll notice I've got some Counter-Strike props, which just makes it so much fun to blow the shit out of these rebels. Look at him, what's he doing? Oh shit! He got me. Yeah, so that's essentially where we are at with Chapter 2 at the minute. I have drawn plans all over my desk that I need to sort of carry on with. But yeah, so that's where we're kind of at. I didn't want to show off all of Chapter 1 because there's some spoilery stuff in there.
Yeah. Plus, why would people want to play it if we're just showing?
Well, exactly. I don't want to show the whole thing. So yeah, but I'm looking at using a lot of sort of props from other games. So Counter-Strike, there'll be some Portal props in here and textures and sounds and stuff to sort of push like the freshness feeling and to sort of bring a bit of the other games into the Half-Life 2 sort of experience, just to sort of freshen it up a bit and make Entropy 02 its own thing.
Yeah.
It's so much fun though, seriously. I'll just do this bit again. When you're shooting through the fucking monitors and everything to get the rebels, it's so much fun.
Yeah, that looks quite satisfying to shoot them down, as well as shooting all the props around as well.
Yeah, it's just fun to do. Especially now that the NPCs are kind of suppressive. It's quite difficult because I've got no armour. There's a bit of a power play on armour, actually. I forgot to mention that. Armour does a lot more for you in this than it did in Entropy 0.
Is that with giving more armor to the player?
Yeah, so you'll have 200 armor, and eventually it will negate more damage as well. So it's going to be like, if you don't have any armor, you're going to be screwed. If you've got armor, you know, you're not going to have that hard of a time. I love destroying this shit.
It's so destructible, it's nice.
It's really nice. It just flies to pieces. That's a graphics card there. Is that an ATI Radeon? Holy shit.
Probably is, yes.
That is so cool. Also, the other benefit, of course, is we get like icicles and shit, so that's really cool when we do like the whole outdoor bit. You can see I've been really busy on Chapter 2. Yeah, I mean, I think that's all the stuff that I can show off at the minute. I think that's pretty much covered everything that I can show for tonight. We've got some other lines, haven't we? We've got some new lines. But anyway, why don't you guys talk about your experiences with the playtest? Because I'm sure people would want to hear about that, because you guys have actually had your hands on it, haven't you?
Yep, go for it, CW. You can go first.
Oh, well, Chapter 1 is, at the moment, it's in a very alpha state.
Definitely.
But, holy cow, it's like it's a really fun alpha to just play around. Like, it's really polished, I feel. It's just really fun to play with at the moment. And experiencing some of the things I didn't experience in other playthroughs, such as one playthrough I had a squad with me, and Bad Cop spilled some lines asking them certain questions about Nova Prospect. And then, there was a playthrough I didn't have a squad, and, Bad Cop didn't say anything, which I thought was pretty cool. There was a thought that went in my head when I played through. I'm like, what if I didn't have any squad members to accompany me during that? So that was pretty cool. It's the whole mood of Nova Prospect is really nice as well. I love the kind of cold blue gray colors accompanied with this orange color coming from these antlion hives, which also goes into antlines going into another state of evolution, which is pretty cool. Just chapter 1 feels really good at the moment. Of course, when it becomes time to release Entropy Zero Arctica, of course it'll be like 10 times better.
There's some furious typing.
Yeah,
that's someone right next to me. They're playing a game, but that's something else. But yeah, it's very fun to play with. I love the dialogue at the start. Of course, I won't say anything about it because it's something that everyone else should experience. Yeah, very cool, very nice.
Cool.
Do you have anything to add, Sprite?
Not really. You kind of just said everything that I was about to say.
Yeah, same thing here, really. The only thing that needs to be tightened up is the squad play stuff. The level itself is great. It's just polishing it up and changing some things here and there to make it a bit more challenging or a bit more interesting. But the main improvements are just like making your squad mates more interactable. Like you can order them around, they don't die in one hit, that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. That's something Oh, sorry, I dropped my iPod. I really need to look at that. It's all code related, I think, which is why I've sort of put it off. What I've done is just done some initial changes and to sort of give us the benefit of having soldiers that can follow us around for the sake of testing. But that needs to be developed completely, absolutely. Eventually, using hint nodes and sort of positioning, I want you to be able to send soldiers to cover, all that kind of crap, all the stuff that you could do with the Rebels in Half-Life 2, put a spin on that. Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yep. Looking forward to the next build, whenever that is.
Should be soon. I think there's going to be a period of sort of... Because with Chapter 1, I sort of had that ready as we've sort of gotten to this stage. But Chapter 2, I have to build it now from the ground up. And that's going to take me a couple of weeks. I can tell you pretty much already that this first map is probably going to take me at least 3 weeks to get sort of completely alphaed, as it were. There's a lot to...
In the same state as Chapter 1, basically.
Yeah, it's going to take me a while. So that small bit that you saw today of Chapter 2, I essentially spent all afternoon doing that today. So that gives you a kind of benchmark on how long it's going to take me to build these things. But what I will be sharing is I've got lots of drawn plans and stuff. So you'll be seeing all of the drawn plans, you'll be getting the direction in that sense, and you'll be getting obviously all of the development screenshots and everything. So you'll be seeing it, and I'll probably be asking you to record new lines, Trivy, and CW3D. I'll probably be asking you for new sounds and stuff, and it's going to be an exciting time to sort of go through that process with you guys. Yeah, I think that pretty much brings us up to date. That's where we are at the minute. We've got some new... Well, I've got some new Bad Cop voice lines that I can play. Do you guys have any Or Trivy, do you have any preference of line, or
No, man, just pick whatever you like and throw it out there.
let's have a look. Right. Well, I really like this one because it's kind of, it's sort of, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm taking liberties when I'm having bad cops swear, but at the same time, I kind of feel like he would swear a lot because he's grumpy like
Yeah.
that. So basically, at some point in chapter 2, probably at the start, we'll get the jump on the rebels, and he'll jump down and he'll say something like "Surprise, fuckers!" You know. So I'll play that one for you now.
Surprise, fuckers! Time to die!
I just love that. He's just like, "Surprise, fuckers! Time to die."
Yeah, that was a really fun one to record as well.
Was it? You had fun doing
Yeah,
that
you,
one.
you should hear it without the vocoder on. I was fucking having fun with that one.
It's so good. I just love it. I'll play it one more time.
Surprise, fuckers! Time to die!
It's so good. It's just brilliant. What else have we got? Oh, let me have a look. Killed them all already.
Where the hell have you been? I killed them all already!
Yeah, so basically commenting on the fact that we have to... I think Bad Cop arrives before anyone else, so he ends up clearing the whole sort of map. And then
Yeah.
you get the reinforcements. It's like, oh, for God's sake. I really like this whole... I seem to be painting a picture that Overwatch is just completely incompetent because
It
of their
seems
lack
that
of
way,
will.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it's so funny.
At the moment, they are.
They're just completely incompetent, and there's just like this guy just running around with his faculties, and he's just killing everybody and getting everything done, essentially.
He's just Gordon Freeman, but for the Combine.
Exactly. He's just way better than anyone else. It's fantastic. How about this one?
It's in my head, grab wounds!
I loved that one. It's so good. That's something I'm planning, like an Easter egg. We can use that for maybe.
Yes, I did actually watch that scene just to sort of
Did
get
you?
the reference. I was like, I vaguely remembered it, but I haven't watched Family Guy in years.
It was so funny. I don't know. I just thought shit like that. It's just funny. I nearly clicked on one then that would have spoiled things. Let's just. I don't want to do that. Let's have a look.
You idiots!
I love that one. Once again, it's just basically making them completely incompetent. It's brilliant. I don't want
Thank
to.
you.
I don't want to share any more because I don't want to spoil anything.
Exactly, yeah.
But I was going to say the intro takes. I meant to ask you, Trivy. I noticed that there were 3 intro takes in there, and I haven't listened to them yet. Did you redo the intro, or are they just packaged with that?
I can't remember. Let me open up my folder and see what the takes are.
Because if you've redone it, I just need to. If you want me to look at them or whatever, I can go through them again. It's up to you. I just noticed that those files were part of that package you gave me.
Intro, take 1, take 2, and take 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're just different ways of me pronouncing it or something.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm sure I sent you them the first time. I don't know why they were included in
No,
the...
I just wondered if you'd redone them because they came through with this one.
No, I didn't. I don't know why you have them. I thought I only selected the ones that are new. I don't know how they got in there.
That's all right. That's cool. As long as we know what we're doing, it's all gravy, man. So, oh blimey. I guess we could talk about. I guess it's in the vein of animation because we've seen the. You've seen the new view models and the new animations. Personally, I love them. I think you guys like them too, don't you?
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
I really like them.
Yeah, I love them. Who made them? They're really
They're so good. Something else we want to do is, I mean, I don't know when I'm going to even initiate that, but we want to get like the MP5 from the beta in to give us something new to play with. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that, Sprite? How easy or difficult is that to achieve?
I mean, as long as it's coded in, it should be fine.
Because I was sort of thinking about maybe looking at the code from the beta and sort of cross-referencing that with code I did for the first game to rewrite the AR2, and we should be able to get something pretty solid going with it. I guess we just need to get the models and sort that out.
Are you thinking of making that MP5 burst fire?
Yeah, so essentially, yeah, because that functionality is already in the code. So there's something that you can do to basically switch between burst and full auto. I just think it'd be cool to give us something like that to play around with.
Yeah.
And have it be batshit crazy like the AR2 from Entropy 01. That'd be quite good fun, I think. There's other things I want to implement as well later on down the line. I thought about adding the AK, but then I thought, I don't know.
You don't want to just start adding things for the sake of
No.
adding them. Everything should have a place.
It's got to fit, that's right. It's got to have a place, definitely. One thing that I really did want to do was bull squids, because pretty much all of their code is complete within the beta files, and obviously the models and the animation's already there. But again, it would just be finding a place for them, I think.
I think doing something new with them, like, would be interesting. Like maybe making them Arctic bull squids or something.
Well, that's-
like bull squids that have just adapted to the Arctic.
Yeah, that's right.
regions.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, when I first started writing for Entropy Zero, I was going to have Entropy Zero 2, I was going to have Arctic antlions. But unfortunately, there was another mod that sort of did that. And I thought, you know what? I'll just do something completely different. But I was going to have them all fluffy and like hair and stuff on them, because that would be kind of cool
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
to sort of show how they would have adapted to that environment. But yeah, things to think about, things to add. I mean, I don't know what the community want really. I don't know if there's a community wish list for stuff for Entropy 02. What do you guys think? What would you guys like to see in it?
I mean, just new stuff. Like, that was something that Entropy 01 did quite nicely with introducing, the manhack weapon.
Yeah.
And then, introducing, or trying to introduce new puzzle mechanics, which some worked and some didn't work too well. But I always felt there was a lack of, I don't know, like, I felt like it got to the point where reskinning enemies, it was just too obvious that they were reskins. So I think, having new NPCs, like, as you said, the bull squid and so on, adding some new spice into the game would be nice.
I totally agree. I think the problem with Entropy 01 was that I was working with this limited palette. So now I sort of feel like I've got you guys now. We have Sprite to give us the new view model animations, for example, and stuff like that. So I think we can sort of stretch ourselves, and we can look at things like you said, like with the ball squids, and I've tried a bit like with the shadow crabs. Do you remember the shadow crab?
Yeah. I did play around with them a bit.
Just something like that, just to sort of make people not, go, oh, it's just another poison head crab. It's actually doing something different. It's sort of changing the way that I'm fighting it. It's being annoying, teleporting around everywhere. So, yeah, I totally agree. I've noticed it in a lot of other mods as well, where the reskinning and the sort of the over reuse of props and stuff becomes really apparent, where we've used things that aren't for their intended purpose. And it can become a bit jarring because you've seen it in the original game and you know where it's been used before. So you want to see new things.
Yes. That was something too, was that the slime zombies, their mechanics have been changed.
Yeah, totally changed.
I've been really enjoying playing around with the fast slime zombie, and it's I'm not sure if I should say what it does, because it really surprised me that it did it, and kind of spooked me because I already hate them.
Well, you can say, because to be honest, I haven't played around much with the fast zombie variant of it. I've only been playing with the zombine variant of the slime zombies. So the fast slime zombie, like, leaping twice is terrifying, especially when it leaps at you, run past it, but then it leaps at you again. Or, you see it from a certain distance and it's just in your face in a matter of moments. It's terrifying. That's interesting.
I hate it.
I think I did change some of their speed attributes because of the essentially explained it as it's the slime, it's making them go crazy. Yeah, there's a really interesting thing I want to do with the slime in terms of the story, but I won't say it on live stream. But it is quite interesting. If I could pull it off, it'll be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're good fun. I like the fact that they sort of block corridors. I've got I'll have to send it to you guys, like a dev thingy, which was like basically corridors which I was fighting them in. And if you kill them, obviously you have to then jump over the slime that they've created underneath them.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. It just puts an extra spin. I'm trying to think of things. Go on.
That was another thing too. The poison zombie, it didn't have any noticeable. It didn't have a retexture. I'm not sure if it's going to.
No, I haven't done anything with the poison zombie yet for sliming. I've only done the classic, the fast, and the zombine, and that was because of in the very first sort of draft of Entropy 02, I was using a poison zombie to do something at the start. I can't remember now, but there was a reason why I didn't do it. But we could, it would make sense, wouldn't it, to cover that thing in slime as well.
And what was weird about this one was that it continuously, it stood still if it spotted the player, if it had the player in its line of sight. But it just stood still and threw out poison head crabs, or shadow crabs in this case.
Do you know, that's really interesting. And I can tell you why that's happening. That's because of the suppression that I've added to the AI, where it basically, if it sees you through props, it will keep shooting. And I'm guessing it must use a range mechanic, so it's basically using a range function to throw the head crab. So it's just doing it regardless. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think that could be a really interesting mechanic.
Yeah, because it will just
if you don't get if you don't get rid of it soon enough, there's just all these poison head crabs
everywhere
around to just piss you off. Yeah.
That's a really cool thing. So it could come out of the slime, and then he's just like sort of shedding these head crabs, and you're like, oh god, I've got to kill them all. I'll have a play
That was
with
the thing too. The poison head crabs had the shadow crab reskin. They didn't act like shadow crabs when I played around, except that they didn't walk around. They just kept jumping at the player.
That's interesting. I'll have to have a look at that. The shadow crab is sort of part code and part mapping. So in Hammer, there are points where the shadow crab can jump to. So we have to sort of place them as well. So maybe they weren't walking. I don't know which map you tested it in, but
I think it was just the test
bed.
The
test bed. Well, maybe there are some points in there. Then I don't know. I'll have to have a look at it. It's one of those things. I haven't had a look at it yet, so I'll have to see.
I was thinking it'd be cool because, they have the shadow crab reskin. I was thinking, where do these shadow crabs even come from? So, a shadow or something that they're spilling out of.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'll end up changing them to something different, but it was just something that I was sort of playing with initially. But obviously, if we do fully implement them, I'm going to have to write some sort of backstory about them.
You got to see where they're coming from, because it's all cool. It makes me think of the mimics from Prey.
Yes,
But you got to think, where do they fit in Half-Life 2?
Absolutely.
You got this head crab made out of shadow. How does that make sense compared to normal head crabs and poison head crabs?
It would make more sense. Would it make to me? This is what I've thought. It would make more sense if they were just literally using Zen portals to sort of portal in, a bit like they used to do in Half-Life 1. But in this case, maybe these head crabs are sort of creating localized portal fields to sort of nip from one place to another to get behind you. I don't know. It's but like Trivy said, definitely if it is going to go in, we've got to write something convincing. We've got to make them sort of fit because they're a bit weird at the minute. Definitely.
I just had a thought too, because shadow crabs are cool, but it wouldn't make sense to have a slime poison zombie with these strange looking head crabs on them. So I thought, what if the slime poison zombie carried around, slime poison head crabs?
Yeah.
What the poison slime head crabs could do is there'd be patches of slime around. They could, go under slime and then come up somewhere else.
So you wouldn't even be able to see them. That's a great idea.
Yeah. essentially still being a shadow head crab, but just being presented a different way.
That's a good idea. I'll have a play around with that because like you say, you'll be sort of frantically shooting the slime trying to find them.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. I like that. So, I think we tangented a bit there. That we went off on a tangent.
Yeah.
Tangent of a tangent of a tangent.
But it's cool.
Tangentception.
It's good to have these conversations to so I can sort of gauge what we kind of want to do with Entropy 02 and what we want in it. So, did Trivia or Sprite? Did you have any thoughts about Chapter 1, or was there anything that you wanted to add? About things that you wanted to see in Entropy 02?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm always going to wait for Sprite to talk first, because I don't want to step over him because I'm at the bottom of the list here. But for me, it's a lot less about like features like adding a new gun, adding a new NPC. Those are cool, but I'm much more of a story guy.
Yeah.
Like I like to explore like the Combine behind the scenes. Doing shit like setting up an ambush with a bunch of Combine soldiers, maybe planting, the roller mines, actually planting them in the ground like the Metrocops do. And setting up like ambushes and shit like that, and like hearing radio chatter of stuff going on, like you're actually part of that faction and giving you that experience of being a Combine soldier.
I think that's a really good idea, what you said about roller mines. Placing the roller mines, that's an interesting idea. Because technically, essentially, I'm going to tangent again here. The manhack code is really simple when you get down to basics. All the manhack code is it plays an animation for the view model and then it spawns an NPC. And
I can tell.
you can have roller mines that are pre-buried. That's a flag for the NPC, so we could literally utilize that same code and give yourself roller mines that you could bury in the ground and then set traps for rebels and stuff. That's cool. I'll have to think about that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically it's all about the experience of being a Combine soldier. Like, what's it like to be a Combine soldier, and being sort of immersed in that experience, like more radio chatter going on. If you're part of a squad, I'd really like to hear like if like one of your Combine teammates kills a rebel, you sort of hear in your radio "one down" or shit like that.
That's a really good idea. That sort of goes back to what we were talking about last week, doesn't it? About radio chatter and stuff.
Yeah.
And I
want to feel part of it. I want to feel part of that network.
Definitely. Because they're all sort of wired in, aren't they? And they've all got their headsets on all the time. I think I got you to record some lines in Chapter 2 when he sort of tries to reach Overwatch temporarily.
Yes.
Because he's bloody out there in the fucking snow boonies. Yeah, I think we definitely need to do that. That's something that I want to do when I do my first sort of detail pass and polish pass. I want to be adding a lot of radio chatter and sort of response, because we can do response contexts and stuff. We can do it all in code. So when a soldier guns down an enemy, we can have a radio thing play to say, I killed this or whatever. A bit like the grunts in Half-Life 1. That's the kind of thing.
Or if like one of them gets killed, one of them's like man down, one down, and if there's only like two of you left, they're going to be like outbreak.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great idea, and everybody loves hearing that. When you're playing as Freeman, you love hearing outbreak because you know that the Combine are shitting their pants. So it'd be nice to be on the other end of that, on the receiving end of that. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I was thinking. I'm going to have to say this without spoiling anything. I was thinking about the discussion we were having the other day about the narrative. Do you remember what we were talking about?
Oh, like when we're all with ideas for where the story's going to lead to and all that.
Yeah, and I really liked the idea, the sort of final note that we ended on there about
keeping it sort of simple in a way.
Simple as possible, and sort of not involving elements of the past as much.
Convolution,
that's right, yeah. And sort of just keeping it, because I think we were correct when we said that Bad Cop is all about, he just wants the glory, doesn't he? He's very egotistical and narcissistic. So I think I still haven't decided if we're going to do that whole thing yet. I don't know what you guys think. Should we do it? Should we go for that narrative choice, because it would be we can either make it like a complement to the existing story, or we can focus on that and we can say, right, okay, obviously Bad Cop's given his prime objective at the start of the mod, but maybe this becomes more of a focus as we get through it. What do you guys think?
It really depends on how the story's been written out, because as far as I understand, your Bad Cop, you get told to go do the thing, you go do the thing. What happens after you've done the thing? Does the mod end there? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so essentially, and I mean, I'm saying this loosely because the narrative is like a gradient. It will just change as I make it. But at the minute, we go and we do the thing, and eventually we do the thing, and then that's the end, essentially. Without spoiling the end, that's the end. So it's kind of, do we want to spice things up a bit and sort of bait and switch the player, or do we want to just keep it simple, go and do the thing? I don't know.
I mean, it's difficult to say, because adding this extra thing will pad the mod out more.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna, it's more content, and it's gonna obviously increase development time, because you're gonna have to probably create stuff for it. I want to go into more detail, but I can't, because it'll spoil shit.
I know.
Maybe this is a conversation for after the stream. We can. Just
I think we have a quick chat. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I think
talk
we'll
after the stream about this. But yeah,
we can do that definitely. I just, it's something it's been bugging me, because this sort of first map that I'm doing in chapter 2, that will be defined by the ending of that map will be defined by what we choose to do with our narrative. I think it would be good for people like you, Trivi, who you like the story, and that's the kind of
yes.
That I'm very similar. That's why I do this, because I like telling stories and I like experiencing stories, especially in this universe. So I think if I was playing it sort of fresh and I saw that kind of stuff that we were talking about, I think I would get really excited about that personally. I'd be like, oh wow, that's really, that's a cool thing.
It's just finding a way to interweave it with the current story without it becoming like overbearing or feeling like it's too much. It's like, how do you fit it in naturally without it being,
absolutely. Because the whole do the thing, that is sort of the weave of the mod, because it sort of goes into the events that occur after the mod, and it sort of explains how things have happened in, say, episode 2, etc. So we've got to be careful with it.
So it's like, how, do you do it as a thing that happens after you do the main thing? Do you extend the story further, and that's when it goes into the other thing?
Oh, maybe.
Or do you interweave the other thing into the thing whilst you're doing the thing?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I guess what we have to ask ourselves is, do we want to make an Entropy 03?
That's the thing.
But, it's, I don't know. I think that's a good idea, having the other thing happen at the end, and that would then lead into the next sort of...
Because it kind of feels like, oh, it's finally over, but no, it's not. Do you remember that thing that happened earlier? Well, now it's happening.
Now it's happening, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that might be a way of doing it, sort of introduce the other thing halfway through, and then we'll just make players forget about it until we've sort of made a bit of headway.
And then maybe there's like little clues and shit like throughout that you might miss about the other thing, just to sort of maybe remind you, but you can easily miss it.
Do you know,
after the big thing that happens, and it's like, oh shit!
You've just given me a fucking brilliant idea. So
We'll have to go into more detail. After
yes, yeah. I won't do it right now. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's as much as we have to share tonight. I think we could do a Q&A. Yeah, go for it.
Right, okay, so people, send in your questions in the stream, and I don't know, CW, do you want to read them, or anybody? Or shall I just do it?
Yeah, you should do it.
You go for it, yeah.
I can butcher people's fucking names again, Jesus. Alright, here we go. I'm now watching the chat. Let's have a look. Just gotta wait. Okay, let's see. Man in the Box asks, when it comes to some of the Half-Life 2 beta content, do you have any plans to adding NPCs that can play the role of a boss fight?
I think we had a little discussion about that, you and me, Breadman.
We did, yeah. So essentially I don't know how much I want to go into it, because I kind of wanted to spring it on players if we were going to do it. So I don't know how much I can talk about it. I'll just say, for now, we have definitely considered it. I mean, it would be so cool if I could, add... We were obviously talking earlier about adding bull squids. But if I could have something else, as like you said, a boss fight, that's something that we've been talking about, then yeah, absolutely. At the minute, it's more a case of feasibility. Can we do it? I think we need to test ourselves with the addition of the MP5 and then get the bull squid in to sort of test the waters, see how easy that process is, see if we struggle with that at all, and go from there.
And we'll have to find someone to be able to implement that.
Yes, and that's something I really need to do. We need to advertise, because we could do with a dedicated programmer for this project. We need somebody who knows the beans.
Hopefully we can get that person that I mentioned.
Yes, I need to have a conversation. That's a really good point. Thank you for reminding me. Been so busy this week.
Yeah.
Okay, your average Roblox player asks, will Entropy 02 be the conclusion to the Entropy 0 series?
I think it's difficult to say at this stage, because when I made Entropy 01, I was like, I'm not going to do a number 2. I'm going to finish it, and then I'm going to walk away from it, because I didn't think it would be as popular as it was. I don't know. It depends what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, like the way that you finished Entropy 0, left it, like closed it, but it also sort of left it open to possibly continue.
Right. Yeah.
And which, maybe a similar thing should happen in Entropy 02, where like it could end there, but it still leaves it possible for a sequel, maybe.
Yeah, I
that's
think
something. That's something I wanted to point out too. Was that because I suggested this last stream as well. Entropy 0 Arctica being a code name for Entropy 02 Part 1 or something. So there's that possibility as well.
Yes.
If you make the decision like I'm definitely going to do a sequel, then we can do that. Entropy 0 Arctica is Part 1, and then there's a Part 2 later on.
Absolutely. I just got to see how it goes. And it's hard to say anything about that kind of without going into detail about the ending that I've got written at the minute. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okie dokie. Villager 103 asks, will you be retexturing / changing the models from other games in any way? So I'm guessing like the Counter-Strike computer monitors and
Definitely.
stuff. He says he thinks they look too modern.
Yes, absolutely. It needs to happen for 2 reasons. 1, because they look too modern. And 2, because people will, you know how iconic Counter-Strike is. People will instantly realise where they've come from, and then it will break the immersion straight away.
Yeah.
So it needs to change, definitely. It's just nice to have that flavour, It's just something different. It's sort of, we're in a different area, I guess. So it's all, But they definitely need to be retextured.
Okay. Someone, literally that's their name, asks, will Bad Cop use the revolver?
I don't know. I thought about it. Bad Cop with a Python. I reckon he'd be a badass with it. What do you think? We could work it in. What do you guys think?
It could be, because the revolver is pretty much an OP weapon. It kills people in like one shot, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there could be maybe a sequence where he like has the revolver for this one sequence where it's made to empower the player and make them feel like a badass with this revolver, but then he loses it at the end or something. So you just have this sequence where you have the revolver and it makes you feel fucking cool for a bit.
That's a really cool idea. Because can even, can you imagine the kinds of things he would be saying if he got his hands on a 357?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you feel lucky? Well, do you?
Exactly. I think we have to do it. I think we have to work that in somewhere.
And we can obviously beef it up with reworked, the way that you've reworked the weapons with the recoil and making weapons feel beefier, and we can have this audio changed a little bit to make it sound even cooler.
We could do
maybe give it some more animations, like have him fucking spin it on his finger and all sorts of stupid shit.
That would be great. Give him like a really out there sort of dramatic view model animation. Every time he pulls the trigger, he's flicking his arm up. He's shooting them in the head. That would be great.
Like when he puts it away or takes it out, he's like spinning it, and because he thinks it's like the fucking coolest thing ever to have a revolver. He's like fucking spinning it around.
I think that would be great.
Is the best gun ever.
That's something too, because Overwatch isn't issued 357, so I think it'd be cool to have that sequence play out. Like maybe Bad Cop loses all his weapons at some point, and there's just this Python that he has to use, otherwise he'll die. So, if he was a normal soldier, wouldn't pick it up because it's unauthorized.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it gives this sense of, Bad Cop's doing the wrong thing, but at the same time he's doing the right thing with keeping himself alive.
I think that's a great idea. I'm going to scribble that down on Trello when we end tonight. We're going to get that written in. That's going to be cool.
There you go. What a fantastic answer for you there, someone.
Thanks for that.
Okay, so Jan Kazanka asks, when are you going to let non-devs playtest the mod?
So I'm going to do an open beta like I did with Entropy 01. I kind of like to keep these things close to my chest whilst I'm developing them, because the maps at the minute are incredibly alpha, and you could go into any map and you could point out a zillion different flaws, and I think people would... It would almost be like bad advertising at this point for the mod. It's just not ready. It's not polished. You know, there are holes in certain places. There are meant to be holes there, but people, you know, anybody on the internet playing it wouldn't know that, you know, and it would just be, oh, this mod is crap, you know. So I think it's going to be best for now just to keep it internal until we hit beta.
Exactly, because there's so many idiots on the internet. Every alpha or beta that, I mean, I understand with like AAA games where it's just like Battlefield, for instance. You can, if they run a beta or whatever, you know, it's not really a beta. It's gonna, those bugs are gonna be there. But for like the amount of like proper alpha / betas, and you still have people like, oh, this game is so broken. It's like, well, fucking yeah, it's, you know, it's unfinished.
Exactly.
What do you think? And that's that other thing too, is that, you know, with Source, it's easy to leak early builds of mods as well, which really sucks. Like that's happened with the development team with Raising the Bar Redux, which me and Sprite are a part of. And you know, that kind of, it showed off what they had at the time, but you know, it's not as good as it is now.
I think it's it's a massive problem when that happens, and it's just the case. It badly advertises the mod. It's not the end user product that the developer intended you to see. So you're not seeing the thing that I want you to see. Essentially, that's the bottom line of it.
And it's, you know, it opens up that other door. Like, you know, it's allowing the community to give all this feedback as well, but you know, it's something that shouldn't have happened in the first place. You know, like you want the community to be able to experience this really great polished mod, instead they're, you know, having a hard time with this broken, well, I wouldn't say broken build, but you know, just things in the build aren't up to scratch, and you know, it could be frustrating for them to play with, and then, you know, leaves a bad image on the mod as well.
That's right. It sort of blemishes, I think, these, you know, the mod and stuff. I remember, you can look at Half-Life 2 leak, for example. I remember when it leaked, when I was much younger, and people tore it to shreds, and they said this game is, you know, going to be crap, it's not finished, it's, you know, and I was thinking, of course it's in bits, they're halfway through developing it. Like,
yeah, people are stupid, man, and they never learn either. They never, like, do you not, it's like, there's like a large group of people that just don't understand how development works. It's like, the whole point is that it's unfinished. You don't look at somebody's painting a picture, and they've only got like 2 layers out of fucking 15 on it.
Exactly.
And you go, wow, this painting sucks, what the fuck?
Exactly. That's the whole point. But I mean, I think the community will play it. They will get their hands on an open beta like we did with Entropy 01, and I think I'm probably going to have hundreds of people this time round compared, you know, to last time. I got a lot last time, but I think I'm going to get loads of people this time because I keep getting asked this question. We'll have a public beta when we're ready. I don't want to set anything in stone yet, but maybe we'll do chapter by chapter public beta. Maybe that's something we can look at. So when chapter 1 is polished, we can push it to beta. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. There is another question, but I just want to point out... Wait, where has it gone now? Where has it gone? Somebody said something cool, and I thought that'd be brilliant. Oh, yeah, the Ranging Knight said that you can imagine Bad Cop fanning the hammer on the revolver, and I thought that would actually be a really
that would
cool,
be so cool.
alternate fire on his revolver. Like, fucking, yeah, I mean, I know people can say, "Ooh, like McCree from Overwatch," but yeah, that'd be a totally cool thing for Bad Cop to be able to do with his revolver.
That would be sweet.
Fire.
And that's a new mechanic too that isn't in Half-Life 2. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Right, I think we could do that. I think I can do that code-wise. I think that's possible.
More animation.
It would be the animation. Yeah. Yes. More work for Sprite. That's fantastic. What a cool idea.
Okay, so an actual question then. Your average Roblox player asks, will Entropy 02 have more weapons? And if so, what types of different weapons?
Yeah, so we're planning the MP5. Now we've got the Python on the works. That's going to happen. I've been looking at the Zen Relay Grenade again. I want to try and get that in. It's incredibly buggy, though. I mean, game-breaking buggy. I can see why Valve stripped it from Episode 1. You've got to be quite careful with it. I'm confident at the minute, if I can tweak down the range of it and sort of play around with the physics behind it, we might be able to get it into a position where we can actually use it as a weapon that doesn't kill us every time we throw it. In terms of other weapons, I don't know yet. We'll have to see how the mod plays out.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth like just cramming the game full of like new weapons just for the sake of it. As we said, everything needs to have its place. Like that revolver will probably just be for one particular section of the game to like empower the player and have like a really cool moment, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, I think that's such a cool idea. Like, we have to do that. It's going to be awesome.
And getting in new weapons is kind of hard, from what I know.
It is.
So but if we do get new weapons in, then that means we could actually get in the slam. We could get an actual stun stick.
Yes.
Instead of a crowbar reskin
reskin.
that hits 2 points.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because for a real stun stick, a good feature to differentiate it from the crowbar is being able to charge up the stun factor on it. So you hold down the button, it goes zzz, and then you can hit somebody with it, and it does more damage than normal.
Give them a good old.
So like
whack.
a wrench. So like a wrench.
Like a wrench. Damn, that is a damn good idea, because that draws a parallel then to opposing force, like an actual physical gameplay parallel. That is a fucking good idea. Man, this is good.
These meetings blowing minds.
Let's make it happen.
Oh man, feature creep.
I know, man. I hope somebody's writing all this down. I'll get it down.
All right, and I suppose this will be the last question. If Breadman eats bread, is it cannibalism?
Yeah, I guess we could call it that.
Thanks for that question, Villager 103. Unless anybody comes up with a good question that's not a joke question very soon, I think we'll close it off. Because we've been here for roughly an hour now, so that's a good time.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
As opposed to last time where it was like literally 2 hours. Okay, no, I think that's all.
Oh, hang on.
What's this? Okay, one more question then by 049.
Yep.
Will the cremator make an appearance?
Well, I think, as cool as that would be, we just have to see how we get on with the other, obviously, NPCs that we implement at the minute. Yeah.
Because I'm personally, I wouldn't want to add too much beta stuff that isn't in, stuff that's not already in Half-Life 2.
No.
Because it's like, is this set in Half-Life 2 or is it set in the old Half-Life 2,
right.
beta Half-Life 2?
That's the thing too. That's the thing too, because the cremator head is actually present in Eli's lab, so yes. I mean, it could happen.
I think that's more of an Easter egg more than anything. It's sort of like a harkening back to, hey, this was the thing that was there, but not anymore.
I think it's just like we were having that conversation last stream when we sort of talked about finding that sort of place of belonging. As long as it belongs, I think we'll be okay. But if we're playing with something, like we say, we don't want to just cram things in willy-nilly, because then we'll forget about the actual narrative experience that we're trying to build. So we'll just see how we get on, I think, with the ball squid, and sort of getting the ball squid sort of reacquainted with the sort of snowy environment, making it fit in the sort of environment that we're building for it at the minute, and see how we go. Because I personally can't picture a cremator up in the sort of northern wastes. I can't see it unless unless they were to deploy one. But then we would have to write that in. We would have to sort of explain that. We can't just drop a cremator. Oh, there's a cremator. We would have to explain it. A bit like with the shadow crabs, we'd have to explain them. So
exactly. There are some more questions. Shall I?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Let's see. Someone asks, will there be a stun stick in Easy A?
I don't know. Maybe after this stream there will be. Initially there wasn't. I didn't design or write one in because we're a soldier and soldiers aren't seen using stun sticks. And that's the prime reason why the pistol recharges, because that's our sort of our fallback weapon. Is our fallback is our sidearm. If we run out of ammo with everything else, we've still got a pistol that recharges. So, but I don't know. Now we're talking about the sort of like parallels between the wrench and the stun stick. Maybe we could do it.
I mean, that's the thing too. Like, maybe we don't have to do a stun stick in Easy A. It could be something else.
Well,
like,
yeah.
I don't know, like a pipe or something that Bad Cop finds. Like maybe again he loses all these weapons somehow, and he has to resort to these weapons that wouldn't be distributed to the Combine.
Yeah, it's a good idea. And if we do this stun stick thing, because I think that's a cool idea, we could maybe bring that to Entropy 01, maybe in an update.
Yeah.
Because I know I've definitely got some updates planned for Entropy 01. We should actually talk about that. That's a good point. Sprite, I think, is doing view model animations for Entropy 01. I think that's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much just backporting.
That's a really cool idea, because what I would do is I would package that with the training simulation thing that I did when I finished that. We can just chuck that all out as an update for Entropy
Exactly.
01.
Yeah, that's a good point. So even if
I
it
have a
doesn't
mod
make it
for
in
it.
Easy A, it can just be, as I said, when we make the Entropy 0 Ultimate Pack, where it has both. It's
That's
like, well,
right.
here's your improved stun stick. In Easy 1, gives people an incentive to replay it as well with the new stuff.
Absolutely. It's a cool idea. Yeah.
If we do that Mega Pack, I think we should revisit areas in Entropy 01 and possibly Entropy 0 Arctica that need refining.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely.
So I'm thinking Easy 1, Chapter 1, not Chapter 1, Chapter 4. Its puzzle elements need to be kind of refined, and
Absolutely. I would do, if I could go back and redo it, I would change a lot of things in hindsight.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, you need hindsight to be able to see that. But we could do it, that could be something we could do. We could go back and change some things. Definitely.
Yes. And okay, another question by Andre. Can we do Entropy 0 related source filmmaker? Before you answer that, basically it's just Half-Life 2, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, go for it. I was going to do some stuff with SFM for Entropy 0. I was going to do I think I wrote a whole bloody essay thing. It's kind of like a story of Bad Cop. I wrote ages ago. I may have shared that with Max. He could have talked to you about it. And I was going to do an SFM basically, to sort of promote Entropy 0. But yeah, that's a tangent. Just go for it if you want to do it. Absolutely, why not? Go for it.
The Raging Knight asks, "Where's the Freeman?"
Freeman is, let's think, what in Entropy 02 sense?
Yeah.
I guess. So in Entropy 02, Freeman is under some rubble beneath the Citadel, and Alex is obviously looking for him. And that's sort of the time period that Entropy 02 takes place, is sort of before Freeman is found, sort of just after the events at the Citadel. I won't say much more in case it sort of gives the game away.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, basically, the game is between Half-Life 2 and Episode 1, isn't it? So
That's right.
it's before Alex finds him after the Citadel explodes in Half-Life 2.
I always like to think of all the Half-Life mods that take place in the universe as like a Marvel universe type of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Like they all happen at the same time, but just they're different people and different.
That's a really cool way of thinking about it. Imagine if mods cross-reference to each other.
Oh, that would be so
working
cool.
closely together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what Friedman's Mind did with Shepard's.
Oh yeah. Okay, so another question. Your average Roblox player asks, will there be buildable stuff like barricades and sentries and whatnot?
I don't know if I could code that. If we were to have a programmer, then maybe stuff like that would be a bit more viable. Maybe.
He plays Roblox, man. He wants to build
He
shit.
does. I don't know. We'd have to see. I don't know where it would fit, to be honest. I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, placing turrets and stuff, a bit like what we talked about, roller mines, the man hacks. That's the kind of Combine experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just not essentially not building
Not building.
barracks.
I couldn't see that happening.
Yeah. So okay, another one. Masked Soldier asks, "Will your mod have a custom soundtrack?" Yes.
Yes, it will, absolutely. And I can't wait to hear more from it. Very
Yep.
excited.
It's written by Spencer and Breadman. So there you go.
I just do the remixes. Spencer makes the cool shit. He does some awesome work.
The Raging Knight asks, "What kind of weapons have you dreamed of having in Entropy Zero, either fictional or real life?"
Obviously, the Zen grenade would be great. That was one of my first sort of things I thought, oh, I've got to have that sort of in there. I've dreamed about having a double-barreled shotgun, but then I was getting worried that I was sort of getting too close to Doom territory. And I don't know where we would find a double-barreled shotgun.
Oh my god, dude, that just made me think of another taunt for bad cop.
Oh my god.
Rip and tear, rip and tear.
I mean, I don't know. It would be so cool. He's the kind of guy that would appreciate that kind of firepower, I think. A bit like what we were saying with the Python. So probably a new shotgun or something along those lines. Just new toys for him to play with. Yeah.
Put in the Fortnite dances as an Easter.
Oh my god.
We already have the Navy SEAL copy pastor.
I know. Oh, I can't wait. That's brilliant, that is.
Okay, Andre asks, "Are we going to see some signs of other cities in the Half-Life universe?"
Probably not, but what you are going to see is signs of sort of rebel existence sort of outside of the scope of Half-Life 2 in the episodes, because the area where we go up north, this facility, it's been lived in since the Combine sort of invaded and stuff, and there are some reasons for that. It's sort of an outpost. They're sort of watching something, keeping an eye on something. Yeah, I won't go too much into that. But so it will definitely allude to sort of more sort of human, a more sort of human presence outside of the scope of the Half-Life games. Definitely.
Cool. Oh, another question by your average Roblox player. Will the game be focused on single player only, or will there be multiplayer?
This one's single player only, again. Maybe we talked, didn't we, last week about doing something with multiplayer maybe in the future, if I've got the time to do it.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole other friggin' ball game
That's gonna
project in the far future.
Yeah, I mean, that would be... I would love to do it, but if we were going to go down that route... We essentially, for people who've missed it, we were talking about this concept I had where it would be like Rainbow Six multiplayer. You've got your rebels and you've got your Combine, and it's like a firefight that occurs between the two, storming a building or whatever. And it was really cool. It sounds great. I think you guys liked it, didn't you?
Yeah, basically, if you are familiar with like the SWAT games, like SWAT 3 or old school Rainbow Six 3, not even what's it called?
No, but
Vegas.
Well, that's what I was thinking, like old school, where you're sort of you initially plan where your soldiers are going to enter the building and shit like that. That would be like mind blowing. It would be so good.
That'd be cool as a single player element as well.
Yeah. That would be cool. And just sort of seeing how quickly you can clear a building with your mates, you know. Or you could have it against each other. So
in-game leaderboards.
Well, yeah, you know, with the whole Steam API, it's possible. All of that stuff is possible.
Yeah.
But that would be a massive undertaking. I mean, that would be almost commercial. That would be big.
It would. That's like years from now.
So yeah, but yeah. So we thought about that in the future in terms of multiplayer with Entropy Zero.
Masked Soldier asks, "Is Bad Cop going to visit Zen?"
Probably not, because I think that's cliche in a lot of Half-Life mods. And as well as that, I can't see how we would get him there with the current story that we've got.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would fit. I think he's going to stay grounded for now.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get any. I think that's going to be it for questions, unless somebody throws one in. Just let the stream catch up.
I think we've got room for one more.
Yeah, okay. Absolute super duper last question if one comes up now. Because I keep saying that and then more comments. And then we're going to be here until 10 o'clock. No, I think that might be it.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Okay.
Right.
There you go.
Well, this was lots
None
of
for
fun.
me, shaking my head.
Oh, there you go. The other questions are coming.
Do you just want to blow these people off now? Or?
No, go on. Let's answer the questions.
Okay.
Last questions.
Okay, but these 3 questions are going to be the last question. Flashbang, what a generic name, asks, what about a new alt fire for stuff like the AR2? So I guess the question is, are you going to be adding alternative fires for weapons that perhaps didn't have them before?
I think what we were talking about with the Python, that's a really
Yes.
good idea. So maybe we could look at that. I mean, with the vanilla loadout, I don't know what we could do because they've all got alt fires. We can't change the AR2 now because that's going to be current. That's going to match up to what we had in Half-Life 2. So I can't change the alt fire on that. Same with the other vanilla weapons. So really, we're left with guns without alt fires. Maybe the new pistol could have some sort of alt fire. Didn't think of that. That's an interesting idea.
Yes, because it's a new thing. So actually, I was thinking about that. An alt fire for the new pistol might be that it loads up a bunch of energy and then releases it for like a more powerful blast.
That's a really good idea. Maybe we should look at
kind
that.
of basic, but that's
It's basic, but it's. I think it's important we keep it simple because that makes the coding easier. So
Exactly.
that could be something we could do. Definitely.
Or it fires ammunition that like ricochets off the wall once or something.
Oh, do you know? Right, I'm going to say this out loud on stream, just in case anyone who could do this for us is listening. Gary's mod. I don't know if you remember. If you ever played Gary's mod Deathmatch, bullets ricochet off metal surfaces. I really want that. That would be so cool, and it would make.
Ask Gary, man. Just go over to Gary and be like, "Yo,
I'll
Gary,
go and
how you
ask
doing?"
Gary because I mean that would make gunfights so much more interesting if you were like in like this metal. I don't know if you're in like a metal room. The rebels are shooting at you. The bullets are pinging off the fucking walls, and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
And you could cap rebels from around corners and stuff. Be pretty cool.
What
That could turn into a nice puzzle element as well.
Yeah, that could. It sort of plays into a sort of another concept I had ages ago, which is completely different from Entropy Zero, which would essentially use ricochets to sort of to hit buttons and stuff to solve puzzles. But yeah, like it could open doors definitely.
What about bullet penetration?
I want to add that as well. In fact, I need it. I've got some surfaces on some areas planned with very thin surfaces. Like there's a screenshot on the stream of the first map that I've been working on today of Chapter 2, where you've got those like desk booths. Like we should be able to shoot directly through them because they're really thin and they're made out of nothing. So yeah, I'd like that, and to shoot through wood as well. Stuff like that would be really good.
All right, so this is the second to last question by Andre. I'm going to reword your question a bit to make it more clear. So in Half-Life 2, you obviously have those Lambda supply caches that you find with like the graffiti and stuff.
Yeah.
What about something similar for the what is it going to be like a Combine equivalent of that somehow?
Yes. So in the Arctic, I've already planned this. There's going to be think of it as like care package drops. So you're going to find them in random places, and they'll have a supercharged suit charger on them. And like crates of ammo and stuff that you can take advantage of. But you'll have to find them, they'll be hidden. They won't be very obvious. But I think that's my way of explaining how we're keeping our suit charged out in the wilderness. So you can think of them as this sort of Lambda caches from Half-Life 2.
Good answer. Okay, this is going to be the last question, and then there's more questions, but I said those would be the last 3 because we're getting on to over an hour now. So the Raging Knight asks, what is your guys' favourite mod? So I guess we can just go top to bottom.
Oh my god, that's such a hard question. That's difficult because I play so many bloody mods. Oh god, do you know...
Jeez.
Go on, you guys go first. I got to think about this one.
Okay,
Oh man. I wouldn't know, to be honest. There's so many good mods out there.
There are.
You can think. Sprite, do you have one?
Yeah, there's this really cool mod by this guy named Sprite Cranberry, I think. It's called Vance. You should check it.
Yeah, of course. That's fine. Bit of self-promotion there. I'm going to put a slight bit of self-promotion in as well. One of them, I mean, there's obviously like more than one for me because not all Half-Life 2 mods are set in Half-Life 2 either. But Under Hell I'm a voice actor in Underhell.
Yes, I think that was very good.
Really good mod. Still waiting for our next lead to come and talk to me about making the next part. Because he's spoken to me about like what the story's going to be going forward. I'm like, dude, that is so freaking cool. I'm so looking forward to making this, and he's still not doing it because he's working with friggin' what the frick is the name of the studio? I'm an idiot now. The people who make Insurgency.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. See, that's.
Worked with them.
I was going to say. See, I really like Insurgency. I really like that because it's almost unrecognizable compared to a lot of other source mods. But I tell you, my favorite mod, probably the one that I've sunk the most time into, is Pirates, Vikings, and Knights. I just fucking love that game. It's so funny. Just so funny. Just, oh my god. Just screaming pirates and Vikings. So funny.
I've heard of it. I never played it though.
Oh, so good. And the thing about that mod is they really nailed the melee combat. I was always impressed with that. It's so satisfactory to play that mod because the melee combat is just really good. Like,
They
awesome.
wanted me to animate for them, but I said no because I had no idea what it was.
Oh, really? That's interesting. You should play it if you haven't played it. It's really good and it's bloody funny as well.
I mean, it's also worth
I'll
mentioning
probably
Gary's
try.
mod because I've sunk like over 2,000 hours.
Oh
in
yeah,
this,
Gary's
so
mod. Yeah,
Like,
absolutely Gary's mod.
top mod there.
Mapping Ghost Hunt for that and all that. Oh my god.
Yeah. I really enjoyed Human Error as well because I'm a friggin' Combine nerd, so I love all things Combine and stuff like that. So any mod that explores that side in detail is a big thumbs up, which is why I love Entropy Zero so much.
Human Error was great, and I thought From Combines was pretty good as well.
Ooh, I haven't heard of that one. Hang on.
You not heard of From Combines? I think it's called From Combines. From Combines.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was pretty good. I thought it was alright.
Also playing an elite in that as well, which is pretty cool. Except they make the night vision full bright, and it's ridiculous when you turn it off because some of the props just
they stay full bright. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm definitely going to be playing From Combines after the stream is over because they've not heard of that one.
It's quite lengthy too.
Ooh.
It was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And obviously, then you've got go on. What are you going to say?
Oh, I was gonna say one of my favorite mods.
I think Dangerous World was probably one of my favorite mods. It had somehow the developer just nailed the level design that Valve did with all their Half-Life 2 games. Like because it was a mod that was set in episode 1.
Oh, is this the one you talked about where the train crashes? Oh shit, yeah. I need to play that as well. That's going in the book.
And then it's got some episode 2 stuff in it as well. It's great. Like it feels like a Valve quality game.
Wait, which mod?
Like Dangerous World.
Oh yeah.
In some cases it tries to implement its own original stuff, like new puzzles and stuff, but it reuses a lot of Valve's puzzles in new and different ways, that seem familiar to the player, so it makes it more enjoyable. It's a really great mod.
I need to play that one. We talked about that last week, didn't we? I need to check that one out. I'll have to have a look at it. Well.
Oh, I think that's it then, isn't it?
I think that wraps it up. It's been really good.
Hey.
Thanks for...
We have some talk about after the stream ends.
Yes, we'll
secret
have a
things.
Chat. Super secret things. We can have a look.
Okay, bye everyone, I guess.
Thanks for coming, guys. We'll catch you soon.
Yeah, next week. Are we doing one next week?
We could do, yeah. It depends how much we've got to talk about. It depends how much work I can get done this week. So we'll see.
We'll talk about it. So maybe there'll be one next week. If we do, it'll be same time.
Yep, same time. This is a good time, I think. It's pretty banging.
Yep.
Bye.
See you later.